Hello everyone, welcome to module 1, and this module is mainly focusing on introduction to bacterial toxins and types of bacterial toxins. The main objective of this module is to enhance your knowledge on various types of bacterial toxins. Bacteria generally adopt two distinct modes to cause disease in their hosts. The first one is infection and second one is intoxication. Infection means the bacteria multiply inside the host cell, then it causes the infection. And intoxication means the bacteria release some toxins and these toxins are responsible for the infection of the host. And these are the two important mechanisms to cause disease in any host. Mainly, we are focusing on bacterial toxins. Toxin is a secondary metabolite of the pathogen that affects the normal metabolism of the host cell. And bacterial toxins can be broadly divided into two categories, exotoxins and endotoxins. The name itself indicating the exotoxins means these toxins, these chemical substances released out into the extracellular environment. And the chemical nature of these exotoxins are proteins. And the second type of bacterial toxin is endotoxin, and these endotoxins closely associated with the cell walls of gram negative bacteria. That's what we call them as endotoxins. And the chemical nature of the endotoxin is lipopolysaccharide. Coming to the important features of exotoxins, and exotoxins are toxic proteins excreted by bacteria into their surroundings and produced by both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. So both the bacteria can release the exotoxins into the external environment, and these toxins are very toxic and even fatal to animals in very small doses. And they're heat labile, means heat sensitive, and we can destroy their toxicity by giving the heat at 60 degrees centigrade. And they're highly antigenic, that means they can stimulate the immune system when it enters into the host. And we can convert this exotoxin into toxoid form with the help of some chemicals like formalin, and we can use this toxoid as a vaccine also. And the toxoid means it is non-toxic to the host, but it can stimulate the immune system. So such type of toxins we consider it as toxoid. The tetanus toxoid is one of the example that comes under the toxoid vaccination. Usually, these exotoxins controlled by extra chromosomal genes, that is nothing but plasmids and Fas gene. So the plasmid is the extra chromosomal autonomous body which is present in the bacteria, and these plasmids are responsible to control the mechanism of exotoxins. And the important feature of exotoxin is it never produces fever as a symptom in the host. Coming to the structure of exotoxins, exotoxins composed with the two important units, covalently bond components A and B. Exotoxins, that's what exotoxins are also called as AB exotoxin. The subunit A is mainly responsible for the enzymatic activity of the toxin. It is mainly responsible to cause the disease in the host. But coming to the subunit B, it is mainly helpful to bind to a specific receptor of the host cell. Subunit A possessed with enzymatic activity, and subunit B mainly useful to bind to the host cell receptor. And in this picture, you can see the A and B subunits of the exotoxin. And this is the A subunit of exotoxin, and this is the B subunit of exotoxin. Both are bounded by the covalent bond, and B subunit mainly responsible for the attachment to the specific receptor, so that the A subunit enters inside the host cell. And there are different types of exotoxins are present. AB exotoxins affecting general tissue, that means it completely affecting the host cell. Example, diphtheria toxin, and AB exotoxin affecting specific host sites. That means these exotoxins affects the particular part of the host. Neurotoxin and enterotoxin comes under this category, and neurotoxin, tetanus and botulinum toxins are the examples, and enterotoxin, cholera toxin is one of the example that comes under the AB exotoxin affecting specific host sites. And membrane disrupting exotoxins, there are two types again: protein membrane disrupting exotoxins and enzyme membrane disrupting exotoxins. And the next type is super antigen exotoxins. Staphylococcus enterotoxins comes under this category. This is the broad classification of exotoxins produced by the bacteria. And coming to the endotoxin, as we already discussed, the endotoxin is an integral part of the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria. And these endotoxins will be produced only by the gram-negative bacteria. Gram-positive bacteria will not secrete these endotoxins. And these endotoxins present inside the gram-negative bacteria, and it releases out during the death of this bacteria or the lysis of the bacteria. And this chemical structure of the endotoxin is lipopolysaccharide, and you can see the structure of lipopolysaccharide in this picture. And here the lipid A portion is responsible for the toxicity, and it's moderately toxic when compared to the exotoxins. Endotoxins are less toxic, and it is fatal to animals in large doses, and they're heat stable chemical substances. And toxicity is not destroyed at 60 degrees centigrade. It requires more heat because they are heat stable chemical compounds. And they're weakly antigenic. That means they are not able to stimulate the immune system. And we cannot convert this endotoxin into toxoid form. Toxoid is antigenic, but it is non-toxic to the host. That form of toxin is called toxoid, but we cannot convert the endotoxin into toxoid. And the synthesis is controlled by the chromosomal genes, not by the extra chromosomal genes, just like exotoxins. And fever is the main symptom of endotoxin. And generally, the endotoxin will produce so many cytokines like interleukin 1, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, and tumor necrosis factors. And also, it activates the complement cascade, especially the C3A, C5A subunits of the complement. And it also involves in the activation of coagulation of cascade. And so because of that, so there are so many symptoms the host will face, and the main symptoms are chills, fever, weakness, general aches, blood clotting, and tissue death, shock, and even death can also induce miscarriage. This is the mode of action of endotoxin. And generally, the endotoxins will be produced by different kinds of gram-negative microorganisms. And here I have placed some of the examples: Salmonella typhi, Proteus species, Pseudomonas species, and Neisseria species.